But before even I got here, which was back in the smoke age, it was a long time ago, I'm sure you were all here at those shows, but even before that, there was the whole Dirty Harry sequence. Obviously, my psychic allegiance to San Francisco stems from 1966, the Trips Festival, the Be In and Park, Airplane and the Dead. The fact that in Britain we didn't hear those records because they weren't released, and when they were released they didn't have the timings on the cover, so we wanted to wait till we got the cool American imports with the timings, and it wasn't the same. But interestingly enough, the first albums that really cut through from the Airplane and the Dead, at least in Britain, were the Blessed's Pointed Little Ahead, the live one from '68, and Live Dead. But, so obviously, you know, as a young, whatever I was planning to come over here and absorb some of that glow, even though it had long dissipated, and the key figures had moved to Marin County, and we didn't know what Marin County was. There was no Google, there was no way of finding out. We did have Rolling Stone, and Rolling Stone would appear and say that somebody or other had been busted in Marin County. So I thought, okay, well they must be up there. But you're not telling me Stephen Stills uses cocaine. Next you'll be telling me that Rick Danko smoked a joint. You know, this doesn't happen, please. And not long after that, of course, the silent majority counterattacked with another frenzied burst of machismo, which is now historic. The early 70s wave of ultra-violent movies, Get Carter in Britain and The French Connection, and of course Dirty Harry over here, and its sequel, now known as The Man's Got a Nose Limitations, Briggs. For some erroneous reason back then was called Magnum Force. You'll remember how grainy the air was in the early 70s. Both over here and in my native Britain. I remember waking up on January the 1st, 1971, and there was Michael Caine and Gene Hackman standing at the foot of the bed. And I thought, wow, the air is so grainy. Michael, Gene, do you see what I see? And they started plucking these grains from the air, and there were still these little patterns. It was like writing on an icy window pane. And Gene wrote, it looked like Ian, because it was Gene backwards, you know. But Michael Caine he could see I was looking through a reflection, so he wrote Mike backwards, you know, it was nice. But there were these holes in the air where it had been, the grains. And this continued, obviously, so a lot of the Dirty Harry movies, the air is the similar thing, and so people like Clint Eastwood are wearing sports jackets, things that geography teachers would wear in Britain. But nevertheless, wearing one of these, if you are Clint, you can, whilst eating a burger, foil a hijacking without a pilot's license. And so I set a whole series of songs to the movie Magnum Force, but they also fit in with my own personal life in San Francisco. They're part of what I call the Magnum Force Suite. They're buried in a number of, I've released I think 3 or 4 of them so far in records, and I'll play at least 3 of them tonight, but it won't be released as such, but it's there, you know. There's a man named Mr. Raymond Wu from Warner Special Projects who I contacted about this, and I just can't remember what happened. So this is, anyway, Magnum Force. You know it all too well. You've seen me a dozen times talking about the movie, so suffice to say, this is just before the first slayings. Some particularly unsavory mafiosi have got off through the pretzel-like finagling of the financed law, and they have driven away through a storm of protesters holding up placards saying, "Bad scenes, man." And they have driven out, probably heading down south. What's the name of the roads? Is it just 1 or 101 or 111?
1. 101.
I'm getting 1. Okay. They're heading off down 1 towards the airport when the driver, who is as crooked as the rest of them and deserves the fate that he meets very soon, spots a crisply attired motorcycle cop with aviator shades and jodhpurs and a nice white helmet who's about to flag them down and kill them. So this is set to go with that, but actually this is about my life. It's nothing to do with me.
Just a speck.
Wrong key, but it's the right song, right tempo. Here we go, take
2. Just a speck in the mirror on a light blue afternoon, and that speck's getting bigger. It'll be soon. On a light blue afternoon, it's been coming all your life, and there's no derailing destiny. She's a single-minded girl. Weapon in your hand. It grew long, you grew lazy, you cast a shadow in the sand. On a light blue afternoon, have you any idea how it feels to be cut down? If you were not so aggressive, I'd feel pity in my heart, but your rage is so possessive. I just don't know where to start. On a light blue afternoon, and I don't know where I am with you. There's no safety in your eye, but the skin is soft. The skin is soft, alright. The skin is soft. The skin